Live, Laugh, Larceny discusses true petty crimes that may be disturbing to some.
Or could be easy listening to all you psychopaths out there.
All stories are based on actual events, but details may vary.
Listener discretion is not advised.
Live,
Laugh.
Larceny. Welcome to Live, Laugh, Larceny. Stories so gut-wrenching, you'd think you just ate Taco Bell. This is Trevin.
And I'm Amanda, and that was a weird little toot laugh.
Oh, you have those sometimes.
Oh, I just had Taco Bell.
Ooh.
So, Trevin, what is your dreadful dilemma this week?
So my dreadful dilemma has to do with dancing.
Oh.
And I know you like to dance a little bit. You just had your Halloween party a bit ago, and
I love to dance, yes.
I can't even say how many times I've seen you dance in your kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
Many times.
Oh, my God. Probably so many.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I just don't get it. I really like music, obviously, and I understand hearing the beat and feeling a little bit of a sway and, kind of the hips moving somewhat. But I just recently went to a wedding.
Uh-huh.
So shout out to my friend Blake, who just recently got married. For some reason, he told me to shout him out, even though he still hasn't listened yet.
Oh, well, screw you, Blake.
Yeah.
By the time you get caught up, if you ever do.
Mm-hmm. So he's a big dancer, but we went to his wedding,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw the weirdest thing. It's something that I guess I've always kind of noticed, but I really noticed it this time. The wedding was in a 3-level building. There was like a speakeasy in the basement, which was cool. We did a little cocktail hour. Then dinner was upstairs, and then the dancing and music was in the middle area.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we come down the stairs, and the DJ's playing music, and it was almost like once you crossed the threshold into the room, people just morphed, and they're just like, "Ugh!" And like their arms just lifted above their heads, and then they all just started Scooby-Doo dancing, where they were just like moving back and forth and this weird hip gyrations, and I just didn't really get it. I just thought I didn't feel that transformation when I stepped off of these steps. So I felt a little jealous, but then I also felt like I just didn't belong.
Huh.
There's just something about white people dancing at a wedding that it just takes them away. And I cannot relate one bit to it. People are like, oh, let's dance. And I'm like, no.
You're like, I'd rather just sit in a corner by myself. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I'll want to have a conversation with somebody, but they're out on the dance floor. So sometimes I'll be like standing in the middle of the dance floor like some weird idiot. And I'm just like, oh, how did you like that TV show? And they're just like, oh, I'm sweating and answering you.
So there has never been a moment in your life where you have gone out to the middle of a dance floor, the music hits, the beat drops, the lights are low, and you just let your inner, I don't know, dancer out? Like, ever? Never.
Okay, there's been 2 times ever.
Okay, and what got you to that level?
I was very drunk.
Oh, okay, I was going to say, was it vodka?
Well, it was probably vodka and Red Bull, most likely. We were at a local gay bar, Missy B's.
Oh, yes. Love Missy B's.
And I don't know what it is about the atmosphere of that. Everybody just seems so accepting.
Yeah.
And if it's like you're an absolute stupid idiot on this dance floor, people are like, that's okay. Me too.
Uh-huh.
And also, I just love the music at gay bars.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love, they usually have really cool kind of 80s sounding remixes of things.
Uh-huh.
I just love that
Yes.
kind of music. It's always good.
And they have a dance floor that lights up. I'm
Yes.
sorry, but if you don't feel like you can dance there, then where can you dance?
But there's been many times where I've been there and I haven't.
Wow.
Maybe it's because I was holding my liquor back. I don't know. But I'm just saying it has to be a certain amount of alcohol mixed with the weather has to be a certain amount
Oh
of
my God.
precipitation. It's just everything has to be a perfect storm for me to succeed in losing myself to dance.
Damn. You're like, I think there's a 60% chance that I will not be dancing tonight.
Exactly.
Oh my God. But it's probably higher percentage than that.
Much higher.
Oh, Trevin, that kind of breaks my heart. I can't even relate to any part of that whatsoever.
Yeah.
But that is dreadful. And I'm sorry that you felt so unincluded and not a part of the dancing vortex that you were not entering into like everyone else.
Yeah, it's something also just about the dancing at weddings. Like,
Yeah.
dancing at a club where everybody's just getting nasty,
Yeah.
that's one thing. But something about the wedding, because most weddings I go to, because I mean, I don't have like super rich friends. I'm not a person who's like, oh, we have the ballroom. It's usually something
The ballroom.
where the dinner is usually being held and then there's the dance floor kind of in front of it that they
Yeah.
eventually open up. Or it's one of those things where they have the ceremony, then you go up and eat, and then they move all the chairs and
Yeah,
turn
yeah,
that
yeah,
into
yeah.
it. So it's like, I just sat in this during a fully lit situation.
Yeah.
And now I just watched you turn one room and recycle it into a dance floor.
You're like, I need the mood set right from the get-go.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's
I'm the
just
same
how
way,
you feel.
like with performing music. It's
Yeah.
just like when somebody's like, "Oh, grab your guitar, play me something," and I'm like, "Hell no!"
Yeah.
I get nervous singing. I get nervous playing music. I'm gonna be the same amount of nervous on a stage for 100 people as I would in a room with 2.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
I'm not gonna waste my energy on this little acoustic performance. Let's
Yeah.
just go to the stage. So I feel the same way about dance floors. Like, this isn't a dance floor. This is a dinner hall that you put a DJ in.
So did you not dance at my wedding? Because, oh my God, I did not stop dancing.
All you had was wine.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I got wine drunk, but not. It's
But
gonna
you
take a
didn't
lot.
Okay. I should have hit you with the hard liquor then.
Yeah, and I was actually really hungover at your wedding already.
That's true. That's true.
I was
oh
younger.
my God. Yes. Well, I can't relate. I love to dance. Every time I hear a bop, I can't control my body. But anywho, I also do have a dreadful dilemma. It also has to do with music.
Oh,
So as this recording comes out, it won't be like super recent, but when we are recording it, Aaron Carter has just died.
Mhm.
And I am really fucking sad about it, okay? I had probably, I think it was 3 different people text me on the day it happened. It was, well, Jordan, and then it was my friend Molly and my friend Sarah, and they were all just like, Aaron Carter is dead, and I am so sorry. Like, they just knew it was going to kill me.
yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. I don't know. Were you a fangirl of Aaron Carter at all?
I was not a fangirl of Aaron Carter.
Were you a fanboy?
No, I actually didn't like his music that much. He wasn't much different aged than us, right? He was
Oh,
just,
yeah. No, he was probably your age exactly,
Yeah.
I think.
When you're a boy of that age, because I think
Yeah.
Aaron Carter got big at like 14.
I
Like,
think
he was
even
young.
younger.
Maybe younger. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you're a young man
Yeah.
and you see another young man who is succeeding at that same age, you automatically hate him just because you're like, well, what makes him better than me? I could have had somebody put $1 million backing track on me and make me famous. But
I
yeah, so it's an
see.
automatic, just comes with a lack of maturity.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's just something that some men don't ever grow out of it, but I've grown out of it. But definitely at that age, I was just like, oh, what makes him so cool? I'm just jealous of him.
Aaron's Party, though, that song to me, do you remember that song?
Was it the one that says like, I'm ready? Or was it?
Yeah. It goes, okay, so it's like, well, first of all, this song to me, there have been times where I've been mad at Jordan before and we've been driving and he will specifically play Aaron's Party to turn the moment around.
Damn.
I cannot stay mad when the song Aaron's Party is on. But it's like, then walked in the girl I'm crushing and the kid spilled juice on my mom's new cushion. I turn around, another kid broke a lamp. I hope it's not expensive. They got them from France. For now, I won't sweat it. I'll clean it up later. There's a honey over there and I really want to meet her. You know, it was that one. He was like, here we go now. Come on.
yeah.
What? Yeah. Oh
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's the song I thought it was. I just didn't know the name of it because I was trying to look that up when I heard he died. I was like, what was that one where I think he says I'm ready, but
Yeah.
it's not called I'm ready.
Yeah, no, Aaron's Party. Oh my God. It's just, that song means so much to me. That sounds so ridiculous, but it really does. I'm really sad about the news because he just was on like such a decline in his personal life, you know?
Yeah. My teen bop type song that always got me was Ashley Simpson's Pieces of Me.
Oh, God, me too.
From probably ages
Yeah.
like 23 to 26. That was my ringtone that woke me up every morning.
Heaven to myself.
And I just woke up happy.
Oh, God. Mine was T.I., Whatever You Like.
Oh, I love that one too.
Oh, God.
Not a teeny bopper song, but still a great bop.
Wow. Well, we went on for a while about these dreadful dilemmas, but I mean, I just think that they had to be said.
They did.
So we are going to be doing 2 truths and a lie.
I've got 3 wires. Which one do I cut?
I'll give you 2 truths and a lie.
But wait, we don't have time for this.
And I'm first this week.
Yes, you is.
So today, Trevin, my 3 statements are about the oldest person who has ever lived.
Oh, cool.
So do you know anything about this person at all?
Was he Chinese or something?
No, it's actually a woman. Believe it or not. Actually,
it should be a woman.
Because
Yeah.
women don't women typically live longer than men?
I know in relationships that's the case.
Yeah. Yeah, so must be true. I have a couple of different statements here. And then I kind of just wanted to talk about her a little bit because she's just very, I don't know. She has a lot of character, even though I've never met her. I'm just like, okay.
I mean, if
see
you live long enough, you've got character.
You
or
have
something.
seen some shit,
Mhm.
okay? I guess I should have said her name is, and I don't know if I'm saying this right, Jeannie Louise Calment.
I'll take it.
So will I. So, okay, first statement. Jeannie lived through world wars, the Spanish flu, and even met Vincent van Gogh. Statement 2. Jeannie lived until she was 135 years old and died from an extremely rare cancer. And statement 3, Jeannie claimed that her secret to a long life was olive oil, port, and chocolate.
C seems very true. I'm going to go with the lie being B.
Yes. Yes. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about her. So Jeannie, I hope I'm saying this right. She was born in 1875 and it was in Arles, France. Arles? I don't know. But she actually died at the age of 122 years old.
That is nuts.
Yes. So in that statement, that was not her age. So she died of 122 years and 164 days.
So is that 90s? 1990s?
Yes, I believe so.
Holy
I
hell.
don't have it written down, but there was just a lot of really fun information about her. So when she was asked on her 120th birthday what she expected from the future, she was quoted in saying, "I expect a short one."
A short future?
Yeah.
Oh, for herself. Okay. I thought she was like telling us the world's about to end.
No, because she was 120 at that point.
That's a good joke.
And she was like, yeah, it's not going to last much longer. So it was true. She lived through world wars, the Spanish flu, and she met Vincent van Gogh in 1888. And then the statement, she claimed that her secret to a long life was olive oil, port, and chocolate. And also another crazy fact about her is that she gave up smoking at the age of 120.
You know, when you said lots of port, I thought you were going to say lots of cigarettes for some reason.
You are already on her wavelength, yes.
You said 1888, so that would have put her like 13 years old? Because you said she was born in 75?
She was born in 1875, so she met him in 1888.
Wonder how a 13-year-old got the chance to meet Van Gogh.
I don't know. There was a lot. If you guys want to read more about her, I got it from GuinnessWorldRecords.com. I know I got to start using other sites, but they just have so much fascinating stuff on there.
Hey, I mean, that's their job for a reason.
I know. I like using them and I like Ripley's. Both of those sites, I'm just like, but yeah. And I don't have how she actually died on here. I just have how she didn't die.
Her body
but she
had to
probably
have just gave up.
died, bro. You know? I'm just going to go with that because 122 years old.
Yeah.
Damn.
I read a fact a long time ago that was like, people don't usually die of old age. Their body's unable to fight off just basic sicknesses. So that technically, even old age is just because something else kind of killed you, but it's just because your body's just too old and it allowed it to do it.
Yeah.
So I would think at 122 What'd you say, 2.5?
Yeah, 122. Like any old thing could have done it.
Yeah.
My God. Do you want to live till you're 122? I know you don't want to die.
I don't
but-
want to die, so sure, I'll pass 122, I'll pass 247, let's keep
Oh,
going.
God. Ooh, I just think when you're so old, it's like, why,
Well, I'm hoping I can have my head like uploaded into the mainframe or something. I can still frolic, but in like a computer land.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Very
I don't
Black
know.
Mirror.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you have for me?
So I thought we had this riveting discussion about dancing.
Yes.
So I thought maybe I would give you 2 truths and a lie about dancing.
Nice. Okay.
So here are my 2 truths and a lie about dancing. Number 1, the director of Step Up, All In needed to provide a filming schedule to escape a murder conviction. Number 2, in the 1500s, there was a dancing plague where around 400 people danced themselves to death. Or number 3, Tupac was a ballet dancer.
Damn. Say that first one more time.
The director of Step Up, All In needed to provide a filming schedule to escape a murder conviction.
Okay, so I know that there was a dancing plague, but I don't think people died from it. I think they just got really severely injured from it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with B is the lie.
And you're incorrect.
I am?
People did die from
They
that.
did die?
Uh-huh. Some people
Oh
had like
my-
heart attacks from it and stuff.
Oh my God. Okay, which one's the lie?
So the lie was the Step Up, All In.
Oh, damn. That one was so specific.
So Trish Sy never was close to anything that had to do with murder, but she did direct Pitch Perfect 3, so what's worse?
The shade.
Ooh. But yeah, that was inspired by the movie Cannibal Holocaust. It was shot kind of like a Blair Witch movie. And
Okay.
the deaths look so real that he actually... So there's another fact for you there. But he was actually put on a murder stand because they thought he actually killed the people in his movies because it was so realistic. And he also paid the actors to go into hiding so his movie would look more believable and it would get more people to want to show up.
Oh, God.
But then he had to break contract and be like, come back, come to the court and tell people you're an actor.
God. Yeah, you shouldn't have done that. That was a
Yeah.
really weird choice.
I think that was like somewhere in the 70s, so it was a big idea. But so yeah, there was the dancing death. They still don't really even know what caused it. People would dance until they would have like bloody feet, and some people did
Yeah.
die. It was usually like a heart attack, crazy thing. And then
Okay.
Tupac was a ballet dancer. He went to
I
like
thought that was true.
an artsy school, and I think he danced the Nutcracker, if I remember right.
Get it, Tupac?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I mean, he did poetry, he did it all.
Yeah, no, ballet is like so good for so many other things. Don't a lot of football players do ballet or something?
Certain football players and boxers for sure,
Yeah.
they do dancing and stuff because it's just good to be able to have that control of your joints and your feet, and especially if you're like some sort of a wide receiver, person has to do quick cuts.
Yeah, totally.
You don't do that right, you're gonna twist your ankle off and stuff. You don't do that.
Yikes. Oh my God. Well, damn, you got me. That first one was so specific. I was like, surely that has to be true, right?
I couldn't figure out how to word it. I was like, conviction, murder, questioning. I was like, I'll just run with that. And to be honest, I had mine in the same order to where B was going to be the lie. And I was like, I'm going to say mine in a different
Oh,
order.
gosh dang it. We always do this.
We always mirror ours, so I thought I'm changing it.
Damn. Well, those were really good. I love to dance, but I don't want to die from dancing. Like, that
Yeah.
would be so sad.
It makes me think of the episode of It's Always Sunny where they have to do the dancing competition. Have you seen that one?
I'm sure Jordan has.
Most of the shows, they're just trying to get people to come into their bar. And one of them, they said, hey, we're going to do a dancing contest, and whoever wins the dancing contest gets to have the bar. And so they have to dance, and they have like these referees that watch them, and you can't stop dancing. You can't sit down. There's like little breaks in certain points, but if you don't complete the dancing, you lose the bar. So everybody's just like dancing for like 20 hours.
Oh, Jesus. No. God. I still don't think it would ruin dance for me, but it would really put a damper on it.
You wouldn't want to dance for quite a while
Yeah,
after
yeah,
that.
yeah. I would take a breather. Okay. I guess I will tell us all a story.
We're ready for it. We had to go a week without an Amanda story.
That's so sad. Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to really try to just tell my family that if they get sick, that Christmas isn't going to happen. Maybe I can
Ooh.
scare them into being healthy.
Yeah, Santa said he's not coming by if anyone's sick.
That might be mean, but God, I got to do something.
Yeah, that's how else do you get kids to do what you want, you know?
Yeah.
You lie to them.
So this story that I'm going to tell today is from the news. And I learned something new. I also really, this one just kind of just made me look at what our motivations for our petty criminals are a little bit differently, and how this petty criminal truly took an opposite direction of how our people usually go. If that makes any bit of damn sense. So here we go. Friendship can be a powerful force. These relationships can last a lifetime, being built on inside jokes, hot gossip, and secret handshakes. Friends are there to laugh and celebrate with during the good times, yet also there for the moments when you can't stop crying.
I can't handle another Monday.
Most importantly, friends are there to let you know when you have a bit of food stuck in your teeth. Without deep friendships, life would truly lack meaning. Plus, who else would take your side while venting about your significant other?
He never flushes his shits.
The story I will be sharing today is about one man's petty criminal journey and the lengths he would go for friendship. Patrick Rempe was a 24-year-old man living it up in Vero Beach, Florida during the year of 2015. Patrick was more of an introvert who enjoyed long sleeps in his bed and oodles of drugs at night. He probably wouldn't have ever left his house if it wasn't for his small group of best friends. His tight group included One-Eyed Rick, who lost an eye in a knife fight, Shifty Sam, who always knew which drug dealers were having a sale, and Punk-Ass Paul. Well, he got his nickname for indeed being a punk-ass.
I got your nose.
Altogether, they may have seemed to be a rough group, but they were all Patrick had, and he loved them. The besties would spend their time sneaking into movie theaters,
Oh my God, we're so bad.
knocking kids over at the roller rink, and getting matching tattoos. They had nothing but pure, adulterated fun. Just when Patrick thought these good times were never ending, the group became short one member. Shifty Sam was arrested on drug charges and thrown in the local slammer. The besties felt the absence of their friend and drug dealer, and it changed the dynamic of the remaining crew. Without Shifty Sam, they began using new and lower quality drugs, causing a domino effect of chaos in each of their lives. One-Eyed Rick was arrested for battery after a bar brawl caused by someone insulting his one remaining eye.
I only need one eye to kick your ass.
Shortly after, Punk-Ass Paul was arrested for vandalism. He got a thrill out of spray painting his initials on local businesses. But as it turns out, local business owners weren't thrilled with having the word PAP sprayed all over their storefronts.
What in God's name?
All three of Patrick's best friends had relocated to the same local jail, leaving him behind. Patrick was all alone, without any direction. Food lacked taste, and sleeping all day lost its luster. He tried lifting his spirits by eating at his crew's favorite restaurant, Hooters.
Hey, big boy, can I interest you in the double-breasted platter?
But staring awkwardly at the waitress's chest by himself made him feel empty inside.
Nah, I think I'll just have a salad.
Patrick even tried knocking over some kids at the roller rink. But it wasn't as fun when there wasn't a friend to high-five and laugh with afterwards.
Dude, you're kind of an asshole.
Hours turned to days, and days turned to weeks of loneliness, leading up to a cool December evening. Patrick's new drug dealer sold him Flocka and told him it was a synthetic version of bath salts. Desperately missing his pals, Patrick ingested the flakka to numb the pain. That is when an idea formulated in his high mind. If his friends were locked up and couldn't come hang with him, he would go to them. Patrick hopped into a small 2002 Toyota and sped towards the county jail. Once outside, he looked around at all the buildings on site. Without thinking too much, he picked one, floored the gas, and headed straight towards one of the building's doors. Patrick crashed his car into the jail, shattering the door's windows in the process. But to Patrick's dismay, the structure had held up, leaving him no way in. He reversed his crashed car and noticed a tall barbed wire fence on the property. This had to be where his friends were being held. Again, Patrick revved up his engine and accelerated towards the towering fence.
I'm coming for you.
The crash had caused some damage, but the fence remained intact. Patrick thought of his friends and knew he couldn't give up on them just yet. He exited his now demolished car and began climbing the prison fence. The climb started off pretty smooth as Patrick made his way closer to the peak. The only problem was that Patrick didn't realize the fence was topped with spiraled razor wire for added security. As soon as he tried to fling himself over the fence, he became painfully entangled within the razor wire, dangling pathetically in the nighttime air. Deputies arrived at the scene to find Patrick trapped and high, both physically and psychologically.
Holy shit.
They were able to free him from the razor wire, but immediately trapped him in another metal contraption: handcuffs. Patrick spat on the officers trying to escape with no avail. He was sent to a local hospital for minor injuries from both the crashes and the razor wire. This is where he eventually confessed to being high on flakka and explained that he just wanted to visit his friends that were in jail. Patrick's stunt created at least $5,000 worth of property damages. He also faced charges of aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer, battery on a law enforcement officer, 3 counts of felony criminal mischief, leaving the scene of a crash with property damage, and driving under the influence, just to name a few. Patrick's story is one of dedication, loyalty, and friendship. It shows us the extra miles we can go to show up for our friends in need. After all, friendship should be valued. Ask yourself what you would do without your friends and the lengths you would go to reunite with them. If your answer isn't, "I'd catch a charge for them," then maybe you just aren't bestie material. Or maybe you just need better friends. Because not everyone is worth getting tangled up in razor wire for.
There's so much truth behind the words that you've spoken today.
Thank you.
So, were there actual proof of him having friends in that jail?
That's a great question. I don't know what it's like to be on flakka. Oh, but I did screenshot what the side effects of it are, because I was wondering what kind of mindset was this guy in?
Mm-hmm.
But that was just the quote that was everywhere. No one ever fact checked it, I don't think.
Yeah. 'Cause I would have been really happy if he actually would have been thrown into that very jail with his friends.
Right?
You know?
I know. That's all he ever wanted. So, according to the National Institute on Drug Abuse, flakka, also known as gravel, often takes the form of a white or pink, foul-smelling crystal that can be eaten, snorted, injected, or vaporized in an e-cigarette or similar device. It can cause hyperstimulation, paranoia, and hallucinations that can lead to violent aggression and self-injury.
Yikes.
So, wouldn't recommend.
No. I'm just
0
picturing
out of
like
10.
I'm picturing like pink sea salt, just like in a little grinder.
Right? I know. I'm like, ooh, it's pink? I don't know. I don't like that. I cook with stuff like that. Like,
Exactly.
Don't even. So, no, not that I am aware. No articles, and I read a lot of them. ever fact checked to see if his friends were in there, but that's what he told everybody once they had finally got him to talk and calm down. He was like, I just wanted to visit my friends in jail.
Damn. I mean, yeah, it would be hard to calm down after hanging in razor wire. That's a very Saw-esque situation.
I know. Sounds really uncomfortable. So obviously I made up all of his friends though, because there was no way for me to know that information. And honestly, I had a damn ball coming up with their whole friend group.
I'm a big fan of Punk Ass Paul.
Punk Ass Paul, I mean, I didn't know if that joke would land, that it spelled out pap, I mean, anyway, I had fun writing it, so that's all that matters sometimes.
Yeah, I love a good catchy name like that. I mean, I know Marty shows up in a lot of mine.
Yeah, or Jimmy.
Jimmy and
Jimmy.
it was one ball.
One Nut Tony.
One Nut Tony. Yeah, One
He's
Nut
a
Tony.
fan favorite, I'd say.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Marty takes many forms, so there's only One Nut Tony. He's in our universe.
Yes, so One Nut Tony and One Eyed Rick, I wonder if they would be BFFs.
Yeah.
Or maybe they would be bitter rivals.
Yeah.
He's like, I have one nut, I have one eye. Let's fight.
Yeah, who has it worse than the other?
So yeah, I know nothing of this guy's backstory at all, but obviously every single thing about the crime itself was true.
Dang. That's nuts. Those bath salt type drugs are very scary.
They're very wild, yeah. And it seems as though when people are on them, they just like keep going. Like they don't feel pain, or maybe, I don't know, or if they're just so focused on what they're doing that they're just not thinking about it. I don't really know, but yeah, it's like you got in 2 car wrecks and then you still had the motivation to climb a fence.
Yeah.
And then even after that, he was still fighting the officers and spat on them, it said. So I'm like, my God, he just was not going to quit.
No, he wasn't. The crazy thing about bath salts, I like what you said, and there's so many stories about bath salts that it's crazy that we could even run into one that we can use, because most of them go south real quick.
Oh my God. Yeah. And honestly, this one to me, the main intrigue of it for me was that, have we ever told a story where one of our petty criminals was trying to get into jail?
No.
I mean, usually that's something everyone likes to avoid. So I just found that whole message just to be very comical to me. Obviously, I don't think bath salts are funny and, anything like that. And I'm glad nobody got hurt. He even only had minor injuries somehow.
That's lucky.
So he wasn't even really that hurt. And just picturing him dangling like so angry in the barbed wire, and there's pictures too. There's a picture of him dangling. Oh my God, this damn fool.
What state did you say this was again?
Oh God, was it Maine? Is that what I said?
So it wasn't Florida, because Florida is like the bath salt capital.
Maybe it was Florida. Hold on. Yep.
It's Florida?
It was Vero Beach, Florida.
Okay.
Sorry, people who live in Florida. What is with bath salts in Florida, people? Is that where like it became a thing?
I guess that's the only place I've ever really heard of it being used.
And this was in 2015, which I feel like wasn't, when you were hearing about bath salts all the time, wasn't that earlier than that? Or was that around that time?
I feel like I'd never heard of bath salts any earlier than like the early 2000s at least.
Oh, okay.
At least, I mean, maybe they're around the 90s. They probably just didn't have the same name.
Damn. Well, apparently it's called gravel as well.
Gravel, which something I don't want to ingest either.
No.
I'm not a chicken.
Count me out.
Jeez. Well, I like that. I like the thought of friendship and the friendship motivation.
He just wanted to see his friends, man.
Yeah. I really hope that not just for our own dramatic story, that he really did just want to see his friends.
I really hope so. And I really wish someone would have fact checked him. Like, oh yeah, this guy was actually in there. And blah, blah, blah. I don't think anyone cared. I think they were just so like, oh, this guy is wild, But I want to know. I wanted to know so badly that I had to create them in my story.
Right. And you made them sound like people that I would miss too.
Yeah, I already missed them. I'm already sad that I'm not going to be talking about them anymore.
Let's go break into jail and find our punk ass Paul.
PAP.
Yep. Well, I love that. And I only told myself about halfway through I should be listening for connections, and I didn't find any. So this is going to be on you, I think.
I am all ears.
So this week, I'm going to tell a story a little differently, but it'll all be the same fun, petty time.
Okay, I thought you were going to say, it'll all be okay. I'm like, oh God, will it?
Yeah, it'll all be okay.
It's going to be fine, everyone.
So bear with me on the way I try to read this one. I'm doing things a little different, and let's just get into this. And here we go. A while back, I introduced the idea of PIE to the world. PIE served as an acronym on what potential criminals should get right before committing a petty crime: preparation, identity, evidence. When I first unveiled this golden rule, it was with the spotlight on the I in PIE. This was the story of the faceless men who hid their identity by drawing facial hair and masks on their face with permanent marker. Today, I will be breaking down the oh-so-important concept of evidence. The Oxford Dictionary defines evidence as the available body of facts or information indicating whether a belief or proposition is true or valid. Quite simply, it's the body of proof. Do you believe your friend may be a secret asshole? Let them pick up the check and see how good they tip.
They get an hourly wage. They don't need my money.
Do you think your spouse may be a flat earther? Buy them a globe for their office and see how they react to it.
This present is lies!
Evidence can come in many different shapes, sizes, and forms. It can be as abstract as a flushed, stuttering reaction, showing signs of an admission of guilt, or be as concrete as a journal entry explicitly confirming your suspicions.
But she told me I was the biggest she'd ever seen.
It is important for anyone to use evidence when reaching a conclusion. Reaching a decision without solid evidence is only an assumption, and we all know how assuming things can go. So it would be no surprise to find that evidence is a cop's best friend. As an upholder of the law, you couldn't simply put a person behind bars because you didn't like the way they looked at you. That kind of biased detective work could get the case thrown out in court, and maybe even land you suspended. With pay, of course. You need stone-cold proof. Evidence. Like the original use of the phrase red-handed, if someone is murdered, it helps to find the person with the victim's blood on their hands.
It's because I never wash my hands, isn't it?
But it's not that simple anymore. The phrase red-handed originated in 15th century Scotland. We've only complicated the law since then. This bit of background brings us to our story. A tale of evidence, problem-solving police, and one criminal's fatal mistake. As a cop in Daytona, Florida, I've certainly seen some shit. From the meth-fueled burglars to the women who OD on bath bombs. Yeah, I said it right, bath bombs. Sometimes a comfortable bath can be too much after a long day, and we get calls from the women who simply can't even. It's up to us to be available 24/7, to help keep our city safe, and in these situations, motivated to get out of the tub.
Ma'am, you can do this.
The things a Florida officer sees on a daily basis could make you crap a book on how to puke. It's disgusting, it's vile, and actually, it's a pretty good vacation destination. The irony is a talking point at the precinct. To us, every block is stained with a different viral story. But to others, they see a sweet place to travel hundreds of miles for, just to take a swimsuit photo for their social media feeds.
Photo op!
It's almost like they forgot all of the Florida Man articles they love to share when deciding where to take their family for their yearly trip. Anyway, the calls pour in over my radio. Like the watery syrup my wife makes me put on my pancakes, because the sugar-free version is better for me. And just like that artificially sweetened flapjack sauce, it's cancerous. Bad guys are always running amok in my city, but I can't leave every call to my brothers in blue. I finally cherry-pick a call that seems easy for me. What? It's my Friday. The armed robberies can be someone else's problem, I had a hard week. Like I said, it seems easy. A very cut and dry case. Woman calls in reporting her car has been broken into and items have been stolen. Sounds like a good opportunity for me to ho-hum a bit until it's time to clock out. Nobody ever solves these things. Especially not a cop who's got his eyes on the weekend. I've got Megan Thee Stallion tickets. Who could blame me? As I walk up to the victim's door, I can't help but feel a sense of unease. The air is thick with the aroma of loss. I give 5 knocks in a cheerful pattern as the door swings open. Standing in front of me is a woman of immense sadness, streams of tears pouring down her face. That look could only mean one of two things. Either she's been cutting onions for a breakfast quiche, or she just had her car broken into. I'll put my money on the latter this time. Looks like I found my caller. I follow as the sad woman leads me out to her car. A blue Toyota. Yeah, this thing's seen better days. I'll bet one of those better days was yesterday, judging by the busted window. Almost like the car is surrounded by an invisible force field, the woman stops.
I just can't go any closer.
The woman says.
It's just too much.
Yeah, sweetheart. I can't go any closer either. Something tells me I may actually have to do some work if I look inside this thing. But I've already come this far, and like Winston Churchill wrote, when you're going through hell, keep going. I lean over the driver's seat to find the center console rummaged through, and drive through napkins thrown everywhere.
Those were already like that,
the woman said.
I'm a bit of a messy girl.
On any other day, I would have arrested her for being a sloppy Pete. But one of these things wasn't caused by my crying dame with an addiction to fast food. This center console used to house the victim's wallet. But alas, no signs of a wallet anywhere. Looks like maybe I can walk away from the scene without any responsibilities. She really is a messy girl, though. This whole car is covered in marinara sauce. Been eating a lot of pizza in the car, too? I call from the car in a judgmental tone. The woman's expression was not that of a guilty girl who is a bit of a mess. This time, she looked completely confused.
I'm lactose intolerant. I never have Italian because of the cheese,
the woman said in a state of puzzlement. Either this woman is running a pizza kitchen out of her car, or our thief was eating pizza on the job. Before I could even taste the tomato sauce, the shouts of a weak man echoed down the street. I jump from the car and sprint towards the sound. And just as I suspected, it was a sad man crying in his hands. I almost left him there to wallow in his misery before I spotted the cause of his manly tears. Standing in front of this poor soul was another vehicle with the window busted out. Shit, I thought to myself. With each new development in this case, I can feel Megan Thee Stallion slipping further and further away. My chances of hearing Savage live are feeling less possible.
They stole my gun,
the man cried. Like a juggler tossing up multiple flaming balls at a time, I decided to add one more to the mix. With any luck, both of these break-ins are related, and my balls can get hot from twerking at the concert tonight. After all, I can't allow a gun on the loose. As I pulled the driver's door open, glass fell to the cold pavement. There was no need to even go through this guy's belongings. The smell itself crept up into my nostrils. Pizza. Let me guess, you haven't been eating pizza while driving, I asked.
No, sir. I would never risk getting food all over the interior of my baby,
said the sad man. I almost wanted to leave him right there. What kind of person calls their car their baby? But I had to remind myself that justice does not favor certain people, no matter how annoying their interests are. It didn't take an expert detective to see the evidence here. The interior of the car looked like a scene from a Wes Craven slasher movie, if the victim bled marinara, of course. You would have thought this guy ordered this car like I ordered my favorite chicken strip basket from DQ. Sauced and tossed. The evidence has been piling up. Pizza sauce everywhere. There's a new pizza-themed car bandit on the loose, and they must be stopped. What more could be found inside of these cars? At this point, the vehicles have been stripped of anything of value. It was time to think outside of the box. or car in this situation. We have a 2-block radius between car break-in number 1 and car break-in number 2. As far as I'm concerned, all of Jefferson Avenue is a crime scene. It's days like this that I wish the precinct would have invested in that pizza-sniffing dog. Luckily, my hungry nose was up to the task. Below the next car over was an empty Pizza Hut box. No one out-pizzas the Hut, I thought to myself, remembering that no one outmans this policeman. I slowly opened the pizza box, not knowing what horrors may reside inside. Pepperoni? Sausage? What's this? Anchovies? My God. We've got a madman on the loose. My trembling fingers could barely exude the grip strength to squeeze my radio as I called for backup. Together, with my brothers in blue, we canvassed the neighborhood. Each neighbor we came in contact with didn't seem to have any familiarity with the pizza box in question. It seems most of Jefferson Avenue is more into Domino's.
It looks like this Pizza Hut box came in as an import, boss,
said Deputy Marty.
The chances of this thing being delivered nearby feels impossible.
It took everything I had not to slap the man where he stood, but he had a good point. Either this street truly has the same pizza preference, or someone doesn't want to admit their love for Pizza Hut. The weight of defeat was heavier than an episode of This Is Us. I wasted all this time and still was not closer to stopping my newly acquired arch-nemesis, the Pizza Man. But as I returned to my cruiser to have a quick cry alone, there stood a woman waiting for me.
Sir, I had something really weird happen last night,
she said. Of course you did, I think to myself, as I mentally consider who I will sell tonight's concert tickets to. It looks like the only wop I'll be seeing is a woeful-ass patrolman. And that patrolman is me.
This guy I know came up to me and asked me if I wanted to buy a handgun,
the woman said.
It felt very illegal. He also asked me if I would call a number and check the balance on some gift cards.
Lady, you are a sight for sore eyes. This could be the evidence I was looking for. You are my savior. Megan Thee Stallion could still be mine. Did this man eat pizza by chance? I gleefully slip out between my lips.
Actually, yes, she said, surprised. After I refused to check the balances on the cards, he dug through my garbage and pulled out my old Pizza Hut box. He started eating the week-old pizza straight out of the trash.
It took everything I had not to drop it low and twerk for my new best friend. Not only did she have all this information, but together, we were able to find the man. Today, this Florida police officer ends his workday a hero and closes his evening a big ol' freak. In October of 2021, Deltona, Florida police officers were called to the site of a car break-in where a wallet was stolen. While investigating the automobile, they found what appeared to be marinara smeared along the inside of the vehicle. Not long after, police were called to a second car nearby, where a handgun and conceal and carry permit were also stolen. Again, this vehicle was covered in pizza sauce, with the original pizza box littered beside it. While canvassing the neighborhood, officers were flagged down by a woman who stated that an acquaintance of hers had stopped by in the middle of the night trying to sell her a handgun while asking her to check the balance on some gift cards. After turning the man down, he dug into her garbage and pulled out an old pizza box, walking away while eating the old pizza. 38-year-old Dewey Smith was later found walking down a nearby street with the stolen credit cards in his possession. Smith faces charges of armed burglary of a conveyance, 4 counts of fraudulent use of credit cards, grand theft of a firearm, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, theft, and dealing in stolen property. According to a news release, Smith said, "You caught me red-handed," at the time of his arrest. So if you're ever considering a life of petty crime, remember the story of Dewey Smith, and don't make the same mistakes as him. Not only can weak old garbage pizza give you a hurt tummy, but it can also get you arrested. Because evidence is a very important piece of the pie, even if that pie is a pizza pie.
Okay, this one might be one of my new favorites of yours.
Just had to take a chance and do something different.
Honestly, I can't believe we haven't done that before. Like speaking in like a detective or police voice, you know?
I think you had a noir one once.
I had one where it was kind of that vibe, I guess, but I don't know. It wasn't a full character, though.
Yeah, full blown.
Oh, God, that was so good. And also, this guy should have been convicted of being the messiest criminal of all time.
Yeah, I don't know. He seems like the sloppy Pete, really. Just
Yeah.
eating
like,
pizza while breaking into cars and smearing the marinara in all of them.
And it's like, if it's old pizza, usually the sauce gets like, it's all like dried up. And it's like, what were you doing to put so much sauce everywhere that they were able to follow your trail of sauce? Like, what?
I just imagine, like, sometimes I will eat my dinner while working on the podcast, and I'll take a spoon or fork or something, and I'll just come over and do some editing.
Yeah.
Like, this guy was literally eating while on the job, except his job was breaking in the vehicle. He's like, I'm taking.
My God.
It's so weird.
The whole thing is very bizarre. I don't know. Maybe either eat the pizza, think it through, and then go do your weird crime.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or maybe just not being the biggest slob known to man.
Obviously, he must. I mean, not just being a messy eater, but you're also okay with eating pizza out of the trash can. So.
Right.
But from what I understood in the articles, she said that he lived not too far away. So it's not like he's a person who's living under a bridge or something. Like, he has a home. So why is he eating pizza out of the garbage?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Did it say if he was on drugs at all?
It didn't say that I remember.
Because I was like, what is the motivation for him to be like, okay, time to down some trash pizza and like do all these weird crimes in a row?
Fueled by trash pizza.
Yeah. Like the trash pizza clearly was like poisoning his mind.
Mm-hmm. He was actually on his way back from buying a bunch of stuff at a gas station using the stolen cards. So that was where some of the conveyance stuff comes from, which I guess conveyance is like a convenience store.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's a really weird one I haven't heard before. Yeah, what an odd guy, really.
Weird old Dewey.
Do you know for sure if it was Pizza Hut?
I do not know for sure that it was Pizza Hut. Had to add that for a little flair. And
No, that was so good.
I like dropping name brands to give it more of a real world feel.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I felt it. I felt it in my pizza loving soul. Yeah, red-handed though, my God. So that guy was really quoted with that?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Which is so silly. I want to know, did he just say that? Because I know it's something that's been in a bunch of old movies and TV shows since way before we were even born.
Right.
But like, oh, he caught him red-handed. And like I said, that was true. It was like Scotland in the 13th century or whatever. But did he say red-handed because it was just the cliche thing to say? Or was he like, oh yeah, the pizza sauce, red-handed? Like, what was he getting at there?
I don't know. I don't know if I hate this guy or just really, really hate this guy. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
I really don't want to be friends with either one of our petty criminals today.
No, and especially one that just eats stuff out of the trash can.
Yeah, there's no reason for that. Especially, like you said, has a home and he has all these gift cards. Like, go gift yourself some new food. I don't know what the gift cards were for.
They were stolen out of the cars.
Okay.
That's why, because he had stolen the gun and he had stolen gift
So
cards.
he was already
out.
eating the pizza when he got that. Okay.
Yeah.
If only they would have come before the trash pizza.
Yeah, so he was like, hey, use your phone and check the balance on these cards I stole. And she's
Oh
like,
my
something doesn't seem right.
Yeah, for
Why are you
sure.
asking me at like 3 a.m. to check the balance of gift cards and sell me a gun?
Oh my God. What a wild night.
Yeah.
Okay, both of our stories were Florida men.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I had bath salts in mine and you had bath bombs in yours.
Mm-hmm.
Which, honestly, that whole idea just made me chuckle because you hear a lot about bath salts, about like how crazy people get when they're on them. But when you were talking about a bath bomb, I was just pictured like a beautifully scented, swirl of colored bath bomb. And it was like, oh, that can't be bad.
Calls 911. She's like, get me out. I don't want to leave.
I just can't.
Yeah, I wrote this one a few weeks ago, so I forgot the joke I'd even made. And I was like, bath bombs? Why'd I call them bombs? I was like, oh, that's why I said bombs. That's the joke.
I guess there were two connections, really, but I kind of like the bath connection.
Yeah, because Florida's easy to do.
And they also did both involve my guy crashed his car and this guy broke into cars. But I mean, we've kind of done a lot of car connections before. I don't know. Bath salts, bath bombs. That just really made me laugh.
Yeah, we'll think of something with that title-wise.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that was so good. Your voices were so good.
I'm really working on them.
You really are. I feel like this show has really pushed us to be almost like an acting class at times. And we're always trying out these new voices and accents. And sometimes our accents fail miserably. Most of the time, actually. But man, it sure does make life fun, doesn't it?
Yeah, when I think about us when we meet and talk to other podcasts, I think of us, which this isn't ever how I was raised, but I think of us as like the weird drama class kids in high school.
Oh my God.
If podcasting was a high school, they'd be like, oh, there's the fucking drama class kids. It's like, that's not how I was in school, but I've become that here.
Well, I was that in school. But really, though, I don't know. I guess I never really would consider myself a quote unquote drama kid. But maybe I fucking was.
Maybe I should have been.
I think you should have been.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
I did improv, but that was the closest I did. I never did a play. My teacher kept trying to get me to do it. And I was like, no, that's not cool.
Oh, God. Yeah, you would have been good at it, I guarantee. Well, maybe. I don't know. It's all about timing in life, Maybe it just wasn't for you.
I was in a shell when I was that old.
Yeah. I feel like now you'd be really good. But damn, we are just a bunch of theater kids.
Yeah, that's what we do. We're the Theater Kid Podcast.
Whoo! Sounds super lame.
Yeah. I hope you still think we're cool, guys.
Please love us. Well, what a ride. I just hope that everyone is having such a good week. It's great to be back. And just remember, no matter the crime, big or small, in the end, we're all doomed.
Doomed to have those bath bombs.
Bye.
See ya.
If you love Aaron's party as much as I do, throw your hands up in the air and then high five yourself for listening to our show.
And if you suffer from an extreme need to dance, follow us on social media and give us your favorite dance song. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Live Laugh Larceny.
And if you are 122 years old, I'm sure you have a good petty crime story to tell. So send us an email, livelaughlarceny@gmail.com.
And review your favorite pizza place on Google. They really deserve that. They make some good shit. But also give us 5-star reviews wherever you give reviews. Apple, Spotify, or Good Pods. So it's an automatic, and it's just, it just comes with a lack of Jesus Christ. A lack of maturity.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's just something that some men don't ever grow out of it. But